Ooh. Oh, man. Just a little bit behind schedule there. I apologize. Hey, John, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. It's a pretty impromptu, not very well organized live stream, but I thought I would do it just because there's so much going on. Um, we'll get into the topic of this, the subject topic here shortly. Um, you'll see the bags behind me. It's full of Halloween candy. We'll see how that goes. Hold on, Arlen's sending me a message. Okay. Let me just quickly let her know I'm in a live stream. Okay, I apologize. Wow, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. That's for sure. Liam, good morning, Liam. How are you? Len Lund, can I have some candy? Well, come on down to Walking Street. Everybody gets it. Hi, Mike. Good morning. It's Bruce on the bus to Angeles City. Hey, Bruce, how you guys doing? Are you coming to visit? Are you going to be here for a few days? Let's see if we can get together, have breakfast or coffee or something. Love to see you and Judith. I haven't seen you guys since your last visit. For those of you that don't know, Judith, that's Judith's phone, but it's Bruce on Judith. Bruce and Judith, Bruce and Judith recently got married his last trip. He went back to the States to take care of stuff, and he's back here. And I hope everything is going well. That's for sure. Wow, wow, wow. We spent a lot of time last night putting together candy. We have a different idea of how we're going to do it this year. Not exactly sure, but we're going to give it a try. Pablo, hey, Mike, what's the latest on Mike? I have no idea whatsoever. Haven't heard from him. Obviously he's in, or was last I know, in Florida, and we're here in the Philippines, so haven't seen him. Don't know. Hope he's doing well. But it is what it is. I'm sure at some point in time he'll be back in some form or another. Yeah, we're coming. So Bruce says, yeah, we're coming, meeting up with friends. Hello. Boobs, Prudes, and Vlogger Dudes. I laugh sometimes. Sometimes it's funny. It really and truly is. It gets funny when you look at the people that say this is the way that this is, or something like that. Oh, this is exploitation. This is that. This is wrong. I think it's funny, and I'll tell you why. And I'd appreciate whatever it is you want to say about it. In fact, I will even do this. Let's see here. Copy. And then paste. There's the link for anybody that wants to possibly join up. So, Hector says, have you met Mike in person? Yes, I met Mike in person. I want to say it might have been, it's been a while. He was here in the Philippines maybe a year ago, 8 months ago, something. It's been a while back. He was staying up at ABC, and I went up there and we met. We had a snack and a drink, not even alcoholic, and chatted for about an hour. So yeah, I've met Mike. I absolutely have. Do other expats annoy you in that location, which can attract sexpats? I had to get out of Pattaya due to the sexpat stuff. The people annoyed me. You know, man, that's a really good question, and it's interesting. And I'll tell you why I think it's interesting. It's interesting because no, they don't annoy me. All right. We don't deal with them. We don't interface with them. Do we know guys that date other women here? Sure. Do we know single guys that just butterfly from girl to girl? Sure. Does that make them a sexpat? I'm not exactly sure what defines in today's society a sexpat. I think that every relationship is transactional to a certain degree. You know, whether you want to put a financial or monetary value on lunch, on dinner, on a gift, whatever, it is, you know, transactional to a certain degree. So even dating somebody and taking them to dinner, does that make you a sexpat because it's transactional? It's dinner? I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Certainly, you know, certainly there are men that, you know, it's a rental. All right. Certainly there are men like that. And there's no shortage of women anywhere. Think of it like this. The U.S., certain counties in Nevada have legal brothels. The entire country of Australia, there are areas that have legal brothels and legal prostitution. The UK has legal prostitution. Brothels, I think, are against the law, but they're allowed to work independently. Something like that. I don't know. My point is you can buy sex in most every country legally at some point and place that I've ever been to. You can buy sex. Actually, that's not true. It's not legal anywhere that I know of in Mexico. Okay? But, in London, certainly you can. In Amsterdam, you can. In Sydney, you can. All over. Now, it is actually against the law in the Philippines. Okay? It is against the law. Make no mistake about it. It is against the law to directly pay for sex. How men justify going around and things like that, that's a very murky direction, but it is true. Let's see here. Pablo says Clark County, Nevada. Yeah, Clark County does it. I think there's other places. I don't remember, Pablo, to be honest with you. I just know that there are the Bunny Ranch, and just because it's famous. So I don't know. Bruce says it's possible that it's a sexpat if you're doing transaction. It's okay if that's your thing, not mine. Yeah, that is Bruce, that's a well paid, nobody has to force you to do that type of thing. Nobody has to force you into that situation, and nobody has to push you in that direction. But Michael Johnson, how you doing, Michael? How's things going? Thanks for dropping in. Samuel Martin, hi, Mike. Keep up the great work. Great thumbs up, friend. Thank you so much, Samuel. We certainly appreciate it. But think about it for a second. That's not really what my conversation's about. My conversation really to you today is, the portrayal. In so many countries, have you ever been to Europe and seen how sexual many of the commercials in France and Spain are? Have you ever, or Italy even? Have you ever been to Amsterdam? Have you ever been to the red light districts? Have you ever been, take a look at Taylor Swift, okay? Sells out millions of views a year, or millions of copies of her songs and stuff like that. Okay? She's up on the Super Bowl stage just about as skimpy as it will be. What is the difference? How is that not sexualized? All right? If you are part of YouTube, eventually you will get a feed, and it's going to show province life. I saw some YouTube blogger in the province. This is a woman, very wholesome, sweet, nice, nothing skimpy, and her kids are dancing. And you know what they're doing? They're shaking their ass. That's what they're doing. They're this is not ballroom dancing. They're twerking their ass around and gyrating and everything else. And these are 8, 9, 10-year-old girls. I mean, it's all over. That is what is out there. And those type of videos are getting millions of views. So are we being prudish? Are people being prudes? Is this the 1950s again? Is that what it is? Isn't it time we accept or understand that there are different walks of life? I'm not saying accept those walks of life, but that there are different walks of life. All right? I don't know if this is true or not. I will tell you that right now. But I've heard it so many times. This might be an urban myth where in Japan, you can actually buy used women's underwear in vending machines. The sexualization of the world is out there. In Tijuana, Mexico, they have something. I'm trying to remember the name. This is now we're going back 40 years. Shit, almost 50. But there's a something del Norte. There's an entire huge, or used to be a huge city block. Actually, I think it was more than one city block of nothing but clubs, go-go clubs, strip clubs, and prostitutes every 5-10 feet on the street. Okay? It's all over. It is all over the place. Okay? So are you a prude for complaining about it? Or is that what you're saying? That this is wrong? That if you make a video that shows a good-looking woman, or even an ugly woman, if you are making a video and she is legally clad, in other words, her, in a bikini, does that make you a bad person? Does that make you sexualizing them? Have you been to a big beach lately? Have you been to the beaches of Australia? Have you been to the beaches of Palawan, of Boracay, of Bohol, Miami Beach, North Beach, South Beach, Hallover Beach? I mean, they don't even wear clothes on Hallover Beach. Have you been to the beach in San Diego? There are girls posing in the tiniest of bikinis and in the most modest of bikinis on those beaches. And yet, is that wrong? Does it make you a bad person to see it, or to film it, or to show it. You know, I just don't know. I don't think so. Sunset Travel, how you doing, Sunset? Mike, I've been asked out plenty of times by Filipinos and had to say no. Does that make them predators? No, I don't think. Yeah, and you're a young, good-looking guy. I can imagine that. I mean, not that I, find you attractive, but you're not an ugly, obese bastard. All right. But my point is no, it doesn't make you a predator, and it doesn't make a guy a predator from asking out a young, good-looking woman. I don't think. What is it with old guys or young guys even? All right, is it just because you want to have something to bitch about on YouTube? Is that what it is? Ricky, USA, how you doing, Ricky? Thanks for dropping in. Man, it seems like the people had a lack of control over themselves in Pattaya, or lack ability to set limits. That was part of what annoyed me, not just the sex aspect. Yeah, man, I have heard that, there are places, and it happens on Walking Street, it happens everywhere, I'm sure, where men or people can't control themselves. Their actions in public are somewhat less than stellar. Is that not a better word? But, if we take, for instance, the videos that you will see from scorebirds, that's not in public. Okay? That's in a private establishment. The performances of entertainers in bars, that's not in public, okay? That's in private. Those are private establishments. So, yeah, does that make, but if it was on the beach and they were, gyrating and grinding and up against each other and exposing their genitalia, yeah, I can see where that would, but you know what? It might be legal in some places. Certainly it's not legal here, okay? But it might be. I don't know. It might be legal somewhere else. Maybe some of you know where it's legal. I do not know. John Pablo, I have a Moonlight Ranch t-shirt signed by quite a few. I don't know. That's another one of those legal brothels, though. You do know that the U.S. government, the Internal Revenue Service, actually owned and managed the Bunny Ranch for a short period of time. That was interesting. Trump loves Taylor Swift. I don't know. I don't keep up. You know what? I don't keep up with politicians and their personal likes and dislikes. I really don't. But there are plenty of people out there that do. All right? I mean, think about it for a second. Do you not think that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of men who fap to Taylor Swift? Let's just be honest, all right? I'm just saying, let's be honest, okay? Liam says, sex sells, Mike, same as good product. Yes, it does. Sex does sell. Drugs sell. Sex sells, all right? Used cars sell. I just don't get people who take such a prudish outlook on legal positions, all right? If a woman looks good and she's in public, I got an itch over here, wow. And she looks good, and you share that, is that a sex pat? I don't know. But, I'm not even getting to the point of, I'm not even talking about being a YouTuber and showing it. I'm talking about in general. We see so many comments on other people like I'm not even going to mention their names because I don't want to think it's a negative issue, but you know who I'm talking about. And yet it is there, and that's the way it is. Angeles City has such a tiny walking street compared to Pattaya. That's what Phil says, our friend. There you go. Have a nice day. There's probably more bars outside of Walking Street than the two. You know what? I would agree with you, Phil. I would absolutely agree with you. And they're making more up and down perimeter. The demand is there. If the demand is there, they're staying in business, all right? Then doesn't that show that the small percentage of people that are prudish, all right, this is just not the 1950s. I can't say it any other way. You're not going to find Beaver the Cleaver's mother out there pole dancing, but you might find Beaver's daughter, because I'm pretty sure he's old enough to have a daughter. Actually, I think the Cleve is probably my age, come to think about it. Bruce says, there you go, Hector. That's all I know. John says, I'm not prudish, but used underwear. No thanks. Yeah. But you know what? Does it hurt people? Is it causing a problem amongst the population? Is it more, what seems to be the national pastime in Japan is a game called pachinko. All right. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. It's played with little steel balls. It's kind of like, I don't know what to call it. You can look it up, pachinko. All right. There are pachinko parlors everywhere. It's a form of gambling, essentially. Okay. Is that cause more harm than selling used underwear? I guess it's maybe the same, but I don't know. Pablo says, in Tijuana, there's a district that the police don't dare go to. It's all the houses are. Yeah. I got to tell you, last time I was in Tijuana was 20 plus years ago. And that was just to show my brother, all right? And I can tell you, there's some rough areas in Tijuana, okay? Now, we own a condo down in Puerto Penasco, Mexico, and they don't have any. Well, actually, they do have a couple of bars like that, but nothing like Tijuana. I don't know anything about those, Horace. Liam, the tourist industry would be nothing without sex in the Philippines. I think that sex plays a huge part of it. I really and truly do. If it's not even the blatant display, if it's not even the blatant issue of sexualization, if it's not even that, if it's just the fact that girls dress in a manner that you see all over the fucking world, all over the world, okay? In every one of these guys, I don't know of a country that I haven't seen a girl scantily clad, all right? I guess that's the best word I can come up with. I really don't. Yeah, that's kind of gross. I've been plenty of the beaches, so that's not a big deal. Love looking at the bikinis. Yeah, Bruce. Shit, what can I say? I'm a guy just like you. Just like you, Bruce. If a woman is going to walk down the beach and she is attractive to me, I'm going to look. Dave, good morning, Dave. How you doing? Hope things are going well for you. Top of the morning. GD, how you doing, GD? Thanks for dropping in. Hoppa, oh my gosh, how is Hoppa doing? If you look at Hoppa and you look at that little dog, the supervisor, that's him. I'm telling you, if I had to steal somebody's dog, it would be the supervisor. That dog is great. Philippines sunset. So I'm skipping the hello comments. Horace, I have yet to see a Pinay on a Filipino beach wearing a string bikini. I've seen plenty of them, Horace. I have seen plenty of them. Okay? It's, you know where I've seen them more so than anywhere else was in Bohol. You know, at least they looked Filipino to me. Okay? And when you say a string bikini, I think maybe what you're referring to is a thong. All right, but we see them. Paul in the Philippines. Good morning. 2 weeks until you get back from the UK. Well, we hope you have a safe trip, Paul. Hopefully all the rain will be gone before you get there. But I just have to be honest. Aloha, inmate Mike and Warden Venus. That's music in motion. You know, I skipped the hello. I skipped the hellos. You know what? I'm just saying. It seems like there's a factor or a faction of prudes. And is it an age issue? Is it a religious issue? Is it where they come from? I don't think, I mean, if it's a religious issue, you shouldn't even be on YouTube because there's so much offensive stuff to every religion on YouTube. I don't know. Phil says, the only guys that bitch about the bars in other countries are guys that are stuck in their own country. It's quite possible, Phil. It's quite possible. You know, there are people who bitch, whine, cry, complain, and they've about the Philippines and about this and about that in the Philippines, and they've never even been to the Philippines, or the most they've ever done was come to the Philippines for 2 weeks, get ripped off, and have a bad time because they had a long distance relationship on some dating app, you know, for a year before they even got here. And then they got twisted once they got here. I feel sorry for them. Don't get me wrong. Hapa says, Horace, lots of Filipinos wear string bikinis in Hawaii. There you go. And AJ used to live in Hawaii. So, here's to your genitalia. May it never fail you. CBGB, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in. Let's see. So Dave says, I've got T-shirts from various strip clubs in Tijuana. I never bought a T-shirt. Let's see here. What were the clubs I went to? We went to the Alaska Club, I think it was. I don't know if it's still there. Who knows? It was 20 years ago. I doubt it. And there was another one that was pretty famous. But, yeah. So Sunset Travel. Now, see, and Sunset lives here. My girlfriend regularly gets hit up for a transaction, no matter what she's wearing. Comes with the territory. You know, I believe you. I truly do believe you. I believe that there are men who are incredibly irresponsible, who are just out in left field. I do believe that. Honestly, I do. Henry Batista, been a while. We're doing well, Henry. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for asking. CBGB, used underwear used to be sold in Japan. Yeah, that's the rumor. I don't know. I never saw it. I was actually raised in Japan, but I was a kid, a small kid. All right. I left Japan when I was about 6 years old. Then from there to Hong Kong, and then from Hong Kong to the U.S. I was born in the U.S., but raised in Japan. So I don't know, but certainly I've heard about it. I've certainly heard about it. I think the beaver recently passed away. Yes, I think you're correct. I think you're correct, Pablo. AJ says in Japan there are vending machines. Yeah, That's what I've heard. I don't know, but I've heard it. And if AJ says it definitively, I believe him. All right. AJ is not the kind of guy, Hapa is not the kind of guy that would say stuff lightly. Here in the Philippines, they're stolen off the laundry lines. I wonder, I don't know. We've never had, well, of course, you can't really get to our laundry. So, but nothing would surprise me. There are people, I mean, it's a fetish or a kink for people. Henry says, I like big boobs. Well, Henry, you would not be the only guy. That is for sure. Horace says, I need to visit Bohol before I go back to Florida in December. Horace, you know what? If you don't need to visit anywhere just to see girls that are in string bikinis, okay? There's plenty of girls in regular bikinis that are beautiful, sexy, alluring. And you know what? There are beautiful, sweet young women that are in very moderate and modestly dressed as well. It is all what it is. Gingio, what a title. Good one. It's interesting. It's the title of a video that I put together as well. Just talking about how prudish people can be. How much of a prude are we going to deal with? I mean, do we let them decide what's right and what's wrong? Or do we accept the fact that the freaking world has changed since, what was the Beaver's name? What was Beaver's mom? I forget her name on TV. Oh, I wish I could remember. I can't remember. But the Beaver's mom is long gone. Times have changed. Avenida Revolution is the tourist center. I'm originally from Santa. I used to go there with my brother. Yes, indeed. Arstel, who actually lives here in Angeles as well. I've run into him a couple of times. Really neat guy. He's lived here for a long time. Yes, and so that is true. Something Avenida Revolution, and it is nothing but, if it's where I'm thinking of, which I think Arstel is correct, it's nothing but bars and hookers. The Beaver, Jerry Mathers, born 6/2/48. Wally passed away recently. Okay, Wally's gone. I notice when I watch vids on Walking Street and I don't see Filipina big boobs. Are there any? Yes, Henry, there are. Okay? Sure there are. There are skinny girls, fat girls, chunky girls, medium girls. There are robust, healthy, curvy. There are girls of all, women of all shapes and sizes. Okay? It just doesn't change. CBGB, I was raised in Japan also, Mike. I was raised up in a place that no longer exists, but it exists. It was a place called Tachikawa, not far from Tokyo. A Ranger for Collectors, Thursday night, candy through still go. It is still a go. I got a feeling it's going to be raining, and I don't care. I got to get rid of this candy. And those kids are going to be out there, maybe not as many as before, maybe more. But we're getting rid of this candy. I can't be keeping this candy in the house. I mean, that shit's got to go. Paul, President Biden referred to Trump supporters as garbage today. What has our country come to when the president of the U.S. calls out half the country as garbage? You know what, Paul? What can I say? I don't talk politics, but I do think you have a valid point. All right. John, Tony Dow passed. Rest in peace, Wally. 30 years married to a Wow, CB. congratulate. I hope you're still married, or I hope you had a wonderful 30 years so far. That's all I can say. Glenn, Mike in chat. Damn, I'm late again. No, you're never late, Glenn. Glenn, we don't keep a high speed track of anybody. Don't even worry about it. I hope you're doing well, Glenn. The beaver is still alive, so Wally is the one that passed away. I wonder if the beaver's mother, I can't remember her name. So Phil says if you like big boobs, go to Thailand. Yeah, plastic surgery is a lot more prevalent there. Enhanced breasts are not uncommon. June, yes, Ranger for collectors, correct. So it was June, and June is gone, and so are the times that June was raised in. Okay, would my mother ever walk out on the beach in a string bikini? No, she would not. But you know what? When my mom was in her 60s, yes, she wore a bikini. All right. My grandmother used to sit on Waikiki Beach in a bikini. All right. And this was 20 plus years ago. And she would crochet bikinis. My grandmother used to crochet bikinis and sell them on the beach in Waikiki, right there by the Rainbow Hilton. Jerry Mathers, yep. Yeah, the Beav is 76. His mom was June, indeed. Yeah, everybody knows June except me. I could not remember her name. Horace, the allure of naked female butt. I'm a total ass man. You know, my point is that what is wrong when it is legal to be as, you know, if you are legally dressed, what is the big deal? Why do people bitch about it? All right. I do not get it. I really don't. Even Transformers too. Or some 100%. Ass men need to unite. Craig Kelly. Hi, Mike. Good video earlier. You have quality woman there, my friend. Love you guys as a couple. Thank you. I hit the jackpot with Arlen. Okay? That's all I can really say. I was extremely fortunate, as many other men have been as well. There are many men out there that haven't been as fortunate. I was not so fortunate the first 2 times around, okay? But Arlen, she is a keeper. Adrian, how you doing, Adrian? Are you down on Walking Street today? How's the weather down there? It's right down the street from me. Actually, I'm sure the weather's about the same as mine. All right. You know, are they even working on Walking Street today? You know, when are they ever going to finish that crap? Jack, do you think Eddie Haskell ever lived in the Philippines? Eddie Haskell, that was funny, actually. Eddie Haskell was Wally's buddy. That's funny. Ranger, breakfast time tomorrow. Yes, Phil. I'm sorry, Ranger. Yes, absolutely. Tomorrow, Tequila Reef from 8 to whenever I'm done with breakfast and chit-chatting and everything else. So, yeah, without a doubt. And I will post the link again in case anybody wants to join up, speak up. Tell us your opinion. Is being a prude the right thing? Is it right to be, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being conservative. I'm not saying that, okay? You do what works for you, for sure, okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But don't condemn other people for what works for them. My Japanese wife has helped me greatly in financial management. I will tell you, a good wife will. You know, CBGB, Japanese women, um, they're very smart. Paul says, half my anesthesia career was spent working with two plastic surgeons. Fake boobs are great, but the real things are better. Well, there you go. For those of you that don't know, Paul was and may still be a certified registered nurse anesthetist. So when it comes right down to it, the person that actually puts you down, keeps you down, makes sure that you still breathe and brings you back awake. That's what Paul did during surgery. All right. He's a certified registered nurse and well done guy. AJ, what brought up this topic today? You know, AJ, I'll tell you what. I'm not sure. I will tell you that I had some weird crap come through my feed. I will tell you that I've had some weird comments lately, or others, not to us so much. We've been busy and haven't put out that many videos, but we've got more videos coming right now. They're in the can. But we look at the comments that people have been putting out, and then through my feed, all right, I look at all of these crazy ass prudish comments, okay? And then I saw, I'll tell you what I saw. I saw a young lady put out a video dusting a piano, and she was naked, but she was covered in body paint. And you could see her 5 o'clock shadow even on that pec. You could clearly see the folds of her anatomy. And YouTube put it up. And this video's got millions of views in just like 3 days. Now, why that came up in my feed, I got no idea. Never looked for it, never Googled it, never searched it, nothing like that. It just happened to be there. Then I saw another video of some girl trying on sheer, that I think is because I clicked on that one. All right. In my feed came another video that showed some young lady doing, actually a Filipina doing sheer lingerie fashion show. Okay. Millions of views. Yet at the same time, Chubbs or Leon or Georgie or Ace or some of the others put out videos of women who are legally clad. I mean, they're not naked. They're not running around. Okay. Let's see here. Let me put CBGB in here. Okay. We'll see how that works. Legally clad, and yet they get these negative comments. I don't get it. CBGB, how you doing, young man?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Not such a young man here.
So what do you think? Do you think that it's fair to have all these prudes? Do you think that they have a place that we should give them a that we should pay attention if they disagree with somebody else's lifestyle that's legal?
No, not at all.
Good. So a ranger says, what's wrong? Whoops, there we go. What's wrong with being an alpha male, right or wrong, stand for something? Yeah, I can't disagree with that, Ranger. I certainly can't.
I have to confess, I'm a a 100% ass man. For some for some reason, I cannot understand the attraction to big breast, but I don't know. Viva
Y-
la difference.
I
You
don't
know.
know. You know what? Whatever it is that makes a person happy is all that really matters. And if you're happy, you're happy. Why?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've gone with many women with who were kind of flat chested, but they were slim and they were looking like models. With and their bottoms were just firm, and that for me is heaven.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. So Ricky says Beaver's dad was Ward Cleaver, was in the Seabees during World War II. He was stationed all over, but on the show they never mentioned he spent time if he spent any time at Subic. I do not know. I have no idea. So Sunset Travel says Adrian, I gave you some free advertising on one of my songs. He owed me a discount. Adrian's a great guy. People may not know this. People may not recognize. Um, I I actually helped Adrian out in the very beginning, and he will tell you, Adrian, when he first started doing shout outs and everything, he was making notes on a old Nokia phone, a keypad Nokia phone, not a
I
smartphone.
remember those.
Okay. So I thought to myself, Adrian, if that is what you're going to do here, I went and bought Adrian a smartphone for new in the box. And I said, if this helps you, I hope it works for you. And to this day, he still uses it. And I don't know whether people realize it, but Adrian's put, I think, two daughters through college selling T-shirts and trinkets on Walking Street. That guy works so hard, and he's done such. I saw the graduation photos of his lately of his most recent graduate daughter. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. AJ, holy crap, Oli, I'm not the only one seeing those body paint. Yeah, Hoppa, how did you? Okay, so explain, Hoppa, how did it come up in your feed also? It came up in my feed, and it certainly isn't anything that we looked up. Obviously being promoted. Something I don't know what. Frederick Delk, what's up, everybody? How you doing, Frederick? Thanks for dropping in. Jaxie, I'm going to go search the body paint thing. Be back. Oh, my God, Jack. You know what? You're opening up Pandora's box. I looked at one, and now I'm getting some of the weirdest shit in my feed as ever. So be careful, Jack. I promise you. But no, Hoppa, I'd like to know, what did we do? Is it because we're in the Philippines, because we're in Luzon? You're only right up the road, about an hour from me. Was the supervisor using your phone? Maybe the supervisor's been viewing some. You better check with him.
I have to wonder, Mike, if the used underwear thing in Japan, if that is a urban myth or if it's real.
No, you know what? Hoppa says it's real. Somebody
I've
else
heard it.
here said it's real. I've heard several times. It's
I've heard
real.
it. I've heard it for 25 years.
I've heard it too. But I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it, but I've heard it for ages.
Let's see. Sunset Drive, you also feature Mike. Don't take offense. I'm not sure what you mean, Sunset. You're not going to offend me. I do good stuff and not so good stuff. I'm not perfect by any way, shape, or means. Let's see here. Oh,
Anyway,
Arlen just sent
I
me
hope to make it back to Japan for my final years in life.
uh, so Arlen's just sending me a message letting me know she's home. So now I have to be careful, although all the pillows are in here, so nobody's throwing any pillows today. Fun fact, Leave It to Beaver show was launched the same day as Sputnik. Wow.
Oh, how about
Sputnik didn't last as long as the Beaver did.
that?
Ricky, you should see what comes up in my suggestions. Yeah, Ricky, I can see YouTube, monitoring what you've got and then making suggestions, but I don't know how it could have made suggestions about body painting. AJ says, no clue, but I'm also getting Filipino vloggers on my YouTube recommended watch list too. Yeah, I get a lot of Filipino bloggers. I really do. I get Gile, Filipina P, a bunch of them. I don't know them by name. I don't subscribe to a single Filipina vlogger. Not that I have anything against them, just not.
Well, it's redundant. It's redundant. Everything has been, said over and over and over again.
Yep, it is. Supervisor is a she. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please, my apologies. Music video. Oh, okay, Sunset. I understand.
There you go. Have a nice day. Undies in Japan is real. My kid found the vending machine when we went to Tokyo at Christmas 8 years ago.
There
How
you
about
go.
that? I've never found the vending machine. I've never seen it.
I've never seen one, but I haven't been back to Japan in many, many years. There are vloggers. AJ says there are vloggers that have made content. So you know what? You should be able to do a search. Used panty vending machine Japan and see if that comes up.
Yeah.
Ricky says body paint videos, black tape glow, Russian wet versus dry. Holy shit, Ricky, what have you got coming up in your feed? My God, you perverted goober. I'm kidding you, Ricky.
Mike, they used to have a thing called telephone clubs. They called them telekura for short in Japan. And you could meet an escort that way. And it was not so expensive.
Again, I was in Japan as a kid, so I don't really know anything about that stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing surprises me anywhere. I mean, there were phone lines. I used to sometimes, I wouldn't get home till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning from the hospital, and I'd have something to eat and watch TV, and they'd be advertising these 800 or 900 phone numbers, and I don't know what they were meeting, but they definitely nothing surprises me. Henry says, I changed my mind. I like just the right size boob, just enough, something to squeeze. Okay, well, we're not going to go into what you're going to do with it, Henry. I understand. I'm wondering what led to the end of women's panties in Japanese. I don't know, Jack. I don't know if it's still a thing. It might very well be. LG, how you doing, LG? In the early 70s, as a morning newspaper boy, I'd have a field day on pantyhose thrown away garbage cans in front of their doors. So I would have been buying these. Oh my goodness, LG, that's getting out there.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
Those are the same YouTube recommends watch list I'm getting too. You know what? I think we're all in trouble then. They charge you 99 cents a minute. Yeah, Bruce. Phone sex ain't cheap, I don't think, huh? I don't know. I heard. I saw an article. Believe it or not, I want to say it was in Time magazine one time, on how much money phone sex, and this was again like, 15, 20 years ago, these phone
Right.
sex operators were making. They were charging the hell out of that stuff.
The Japan telephone clubs were set up so you could actually meet a woman.
Oh,
You would go in there and pay a couple of thousand yen, maybe $20 or something like that, and you could make a date, and then you could go check her out and see if you wanted to take it further or not.
I see. Phil says Japan has more than 5.5 million vending machines, which is about one machine for every 23 people in the country. Straight
Yeah,
from
I
Google.
agree.
You know what? It doesn't. I know that Japan is like they have vending machines with hot and cold
Yes.
stuff.
Oh,
They have different foods, different things.
you can get
They
a
are the
pizza.
king of vending machines.
You can get a pizza.
A pizza. That'd be interesting. So Bruce says a 900 number I called as a kid. There you go. And so how much money did you rack up on your dad's telephone bill, Bruce? How much did that end up costing you? Oh, man. Hey, Jay, I remember seeing those ads of sea monkeys. Oh, yeah. Remember that? Did anybody ever get the sea monkeys? I never
Yeah,
did.
yeah. But
Um,
sometimes it didn't work.
yeah,
Sometimes they just didn't come alive.
I, I
Sometimes they did.
I never bought the sea monkeys or the X-ray vision glasses or any of that stuff out of the back of comic books. I did get one thing. I know I did. I can't remember what it was, but I did get one thing out of the back of a comic book, but I can't remember for the life of me what it even was. Phil says Korea had a lot of vending machines. You know what? I am not conversant enough about Korea to even consider it. I've been to Seoul. I've been in town for like one day, and that was in transit, and that was it. So I don't know enough of that. Let's see here. Now the lonely guys spend money on tokens to tip internet strippers in internet shows. There you go, Ricky. There's plenty of those, plenty of webcam. But does that make, so let's get back to where we were. All right. Just because a channel, all right, pays attention to the female form, all right, does that make them bad? And what is it with all the prudes that say that it is?
Are there really that many prudes around now?
Oh, I'm telling you, we get a ton of shit about going out bar hopping, about the girls on Walking Street, about this and that. And you don't see it much, but you got to understand that people like Chubbs and Ace and other bloggers, It's My Life, Leon, they delete a lot of those type of comments. It happens. It really does. AJ says my cleaner is always picking up dead sea monkeys in my B&B. Okay. Hoppa,
Well,
I
was
remember
listening to
fighting.
someone.
Oh, go ahead.
Is anyone else going to cam up?
I don't have anybody waiting, so no. But maybe later. Who knows? AJ says, I remember fighting my younger brother for the prizes in the cereal boxes. I never had that problem. My younger brother's 13 years younger than me. So, I was out of the house before he was old enough to fight over that kind of stuff.
So, Mike,
See,
where did you spend most of your time growing up?
well, I was born in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Uh, my mother was, um, my mother worked in Japan, and her father,
Right.
my grandfather, was, let's see here, wait a second. Let me fix this. There we go. Phil's with us now. There you go. Have a nice day.
All right.
My
Yeah. How you
Hey,
so
doing?
Phil.
good. So my mother was a model in Asia. My grandfather was
Okay.
a base. My grandfather was a Air Force officer. So I spent
Right.
from the time I was um, about 4 months old to the time I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, um, in Tachikawa, Japan, and then from
Right. Right.
there we
I
moved
know that
to
place.
okay. From there we moved to Hong Kong. My mother and I moved to Hong Kong. My mother was based
Good.
with a modeling
You were
agency.
very lucky. You were very lucky to have that kind of
Yeah.
background.
So and then at once I got um, once I got let's see here, I was 13, almost 14 when I came to the United States full time, and then finished out high school and
Yeah, that's
undergraduate
what
and
I
everything
did.
else.
That's what I did. I went to, I graduated high school and university in America. And looking back on it, I wish I had just stayed in Japan. But
So
and eventually, I went back to Japan and I worked. But
yeah,
do you remember the boom years in Japan?
no, I was a kid. I don't remember. You know what? I don't remember a whole lot about it. Um,
Well,
that
from like the early 1980s to 1995 were
I
about
I was
really,
a
really.
yeah, I was a kid. I didn't pay any attention to it. Phil, what's
You were,
new? What are you doing hanging out there on your balcony?
Well, just kind of enjoying my morning
how you
Nice.
doing, Phil?
at the pool. Yeah.
Nice. I run into
Where's
Phil.
Phil at? Where
I
are you
run into
at, Phil?
Phil at breakfast pretty often. He joins me for breakfast.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Henry
okay.
says, my friend asked me to go with him in Philippines in Pampanga in February. Should I go for a month? Henry, I would. Why not? What else have you got going on? If you don't have anything better going on, why not, Henry? Hop.
If you've never been here, I would say yes for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now, uh, Hoppa says those are subs from Grumpy Brit. You know, I actually feel sorry for the Grumpy Brit now. I really do. Um,
I don't
you
know
know,
who that is. Who is that?
he's a guy that hates me. All right, his life is
Uh,
just in turmoil. It really and truly is, and I feel bad for it. You know, he's lied about me. He's told lies about me. He just most recently said that I used to own a brothel. And I was like, no, I didn't own a brothel. Okay. I owned property, and on that property was a topless bar. Okay. I bought the property because it was a property investment. Period. End of
Was this
story.
in the United States?
Yeah. Yeah.
A brothel? So you lived in Nevada?
No, no, I did not own a brothel.
yeah.
It was not a
Oh,
brothel. It was a topless bar.
okay. In
Yeah.
which state?
In Arizona, in Phoenix.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Let's see.
And then the laws there really only allow topless anyway, don't they, Mike?
You can have topless with alcohol, or you can have
Yeah.
nude with juice and soda. Or you know what? I don't know what you can
You
have
can
now.
bring your own, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know
You
what
used,
the
you used
law
to be
is
able to
now.
just bring your own. You could bring your own alcohol, and they'd provide the mixers.
Right.
But that was 30 years ago. I don't know what it is now.
I didn't know that. Before he was the Beaver, Jerry Mathers was Little Ricky on I Love Lucy. I'll be darned.
I didn't know that either.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Wow. Trivia.
Henry, let me
Speaking of,
know if you need a promo stay. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Hey, you know what, Sunset? If you have got Airbnb or rentals or something like that, and you can help out anybody, that's no big deal. Absolutely.
speaking of trivia, I watched American Graffiti the other day. That was a great movie. Did you
That was
see
a
that?
good movie.
Yeah, it was. A lot of actors in there that you'd never guess that they were in that movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
became big actors.
Did you know Harrison Ford
Yeah.
had a role?
Yep. So if phone sex expensive in the USA, use some of the Filipino dating sites for cam sex. My friend paid 500 pesos a session. Most who offer ask for 1,000, but LG, I don't know. I have no idea how that works. Um, I don't know if that's a good price, a bad price. I don't know. I think anybody, you know what? I don't see the lure and the attraction to cam sex, but you know what? Whatever trips your trigger, it is what it is. Love the
Yeah.
Philippines. It's great here. Yes, indeed, Bruce, it is. I'm afraid the last time I was there, I got sick because I drank the water or the ice ended up. Oh, Henry, that's terrible. I hope you have a better trip this time around. Hoppe says those bars were during my time going through basic training at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Yeah, you know what? Never been there, but nothing would surprise me. Henry says no phone sex for me. I wouldn't think. I would think with the internet, phone sex is pretty much a dead issue
I'm
nowadays.
sure. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was just interesting to bring up the fact that I don't get it. I don't get where it is that if I go down the street and I video walking street, and then I get these comments that are like, I'm exploiting women for money. I'm using women to make money on YouTube. Women shouldn't be
No.
doing that. They shouldn't be
Well,
dressed like that. They shouldn't dance like that. They shouldn't work. What kind of a prude are the people that say
well,
these things?
maybe they are talking about invasion of privacy.
Well, but if all right, we don't go and film up and down walking street. That's not what we do. Other people do it. That's fine, but that's just not what we do. With that being said, I still believe that there is no if you're in public, you're in public. That's not private. So I just don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Hoppe goes, yeah, it's called Facebook and Messenger where you can get free shows nowadays. Hoppe, oh my God. Unreal people. So, all right, folks, it's been an hour. We're going to cut this down. I'm going to say goodbye to Phil and Phil, and we're going to get moving here. You guys all have a great day. Let me
Okay.
just
Nice seeing you again. I just
switch
wanted to
everybody
say
off here. All right. And then we're
want-
going to take care of that. There we go. All right. But thank you so much, folks. Oh, Todd just dropped in. Hey, Todd, how you doing? Nice to see you. So we were talking, Todd, about prudes. How it just strikes me as weird sometimes. It really and truly does. Okay. I don't believe that people. I didn't think that there were that many Jehovah's Witnesses and Amish and Mormons that watch YouTube to say the things that they say against, say, a girl in a bikini on YouTube. I don't know. All right. You guys be good. It was nice to talk to everybody. I'm going to go talk to Arlen. Take care. Happy Halloween. Have a great day.